What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with Johneri'O Sky. Of course, I'm your host, Johneri'O Sky, also known as the Prince of Media. And today, you guys, we have Runway Slayer. Living single and fat and fabulous and just doing your thing. Tonka, what's up?
What's going on, baby?
Listen, what have you not been up to? Cause you out here.
Not with a man.
Listen, well, by the end of this episode, listen, y'all have 30 minutes to get Tonka a man. Alright. But Tonka, like, you were really out here. Like, I really saw, I would say, leading up to Legendary. I was introduced to you, and from there I was like, even meeting you that day, you had this confidence that Tonka is here, and when Tonka is in the building, oh, you gonna know. But how did you get to that confidence? Where did that confidence come from?
Honestly, it took a lot of going through like self-esteem issues and not utilizing the voice as a child and really, deprogramming myself from like family issues to reprogramming myself as an adult to when I finally came out gay to my mom and my sister and they accepted me, it was like, okay, well, I don't have to cover, I don't have to lie, I don't have to do anything. So at the age of 21, it was just like I rebirthed from that moment of like in June 2011, I was rebirthed.
I know, so you better remember that.
Baby, I remember it clearly. And that hole in the wall do too.
Listen, them hole in the wall is popping.
Baby, when I tell
Best
you.
parties.
Baby, when I tell you. But yeah, that's when I was birthed. That's when I also discovered Ballroom at that time, my first gay family. So everything was it was like I was born again.
Right.
So I was thirsty, like I was enjoying who the person I was, because I was always, hiding myself in fashion. I was always fashion because my mom was fashion, my grandma was. So I was hiding myself, but now that I'm fully myself, it was like, boom, you gonna get all of me and unapologetically, and
yes.
I'm gonna give you some little doses, but once you get hooked, baby, I'm gonna give you more.
Not no little doses. You proud, and that's a good thing, especially when it bounces off you into everyone that that you come around. So where did the name Tonka come from?
So shout out to Mother Stafford at First Missionary Baptist Church in Concord, North Carolina. I was singing the choir. I always been a choir boy, and she would always give me a hug. She like 4'11". I think she's shorter than that, honestly. She would always give me a hug. She always look up. She said, "You know what? Your name is not Derek. I'm just gonna call you my Tonka truck." And so I always, carry that with me for someone to look at me as my size and just call me a Tonka truck. It was like, okay, so when it came down to having a Ballroom name, at first I was gonna be Earthquake.
Still coming through.
Right, I was gonna be Earthquake because there was this big boys runway in North Carolina hurricane that I really liked. So I was like, okay, well, I'm his son, Earthquake. And my gay grandpa at the time, that was in Seoul, Tokyo, he was like, no, you need something better. I was like, well, what about Tonka? He was like, that's it.
But thank you, man from the church. Thank you. So you at 21, you came into yourself. You was like, yo, this is who I am, and I'm going to do it. How did you get into Ballroom?
So I was working at Forever 21. That's when I just quit Macy's, and Forever 21 just got built, and I felt apart because it's like I could play with fashion. It's a journey for me now that I know who I'm starting to figure out who I am as a gay male. I'm in Tokyo, which, like I said, is my late gay grandfather. He was like, I'm gonna call you Roxy because you just got this snappy fire personality. I was like, I'm not no doggone Roxy. And he was like, well, come to the club. So I went to the club with him, and he went out there in Vogue, and I was just like, okay. And I was seeing people out there just modeling, and I was already modeling in college. So I was doing like masculine walk in the routines, so the modeling troupe. And I was also behind the scenes of teaching the girls how to walk. Right. So when I saw that, I just went out there and did it. And, I saw people's reaction and it was receiving. So I was like, oh, this is my lane.
Right.
Crochet, I can get a piece of this. And ever since then, I was hooked.
Yo, well, I'm glad you was hooked, cause you listen when you coming down, you just be like, yes, yes, like it be so hype. So let's for the people that don't know what Ballroom is. What is Ballroom?
Ballroom is a safe haven for POCs who are men or women of experience, as well as gay, lesbian, bi, queer, who don't have acceptance in their own personal life, that's talented, where they can utilize their talents in a safe space to compete. It started off as pageant balls, and the late great Crystal Ibeja went to a white pageant, and she went through discrimination of being a POC drag queen competing, and so she was like, no more. I'm going to create a space where nobody has to ever feel this way. So from that moment up till 2022, it's still going on. And now it's on TV. People of the community are famous, dancing with other, celebrities, doing hairstylists like the legend Yusef Mugler, or Rihanna, the icon Deshaun Bossy, dancing with Rihanna and other artists as well. So you got those people just to mention. Even in Atlanta, like the icon London Mugler, who transcends for the voices of us and women of experience, and just doing really great things. So this community has really created a lot of opportunities for us who just looking at, we have our own celebrities in our community now.
Yes.
To look up to. So it's not just, we looking at Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Okay, I love Nicki Minaj, but I have somebody who is like me, who is on TV as well, or doing something that I can look up to.
Yo, and it's so crazy that how that culture really helps create the culture that, that culture helped create this culture, and that was the beginning.
Yes. That's
crazy. And I also want to add that with Ballroom, like Tonka said, they have houses, and that's when they start competing. But how can you get it? How can someone get into a house?
You start off as a 007, or some might come through as a friend over in the house. But normally you come as a 007, and you test the waters out what categories you want to walk. Some know automatically what category they want to walk, like I.E. Vogue, because that's a lot of acrobatics and stretching and dancing. A lot of we are part of Redneck Nation, but you go out there and walk the category that you think you can flourish in, or you try a couple categories until you find the category, and then if our house sees that you could be a good investment on the floor, as well as family to the house, then they offer like, hey, we want you to join the house. Or if you see yourself in the house, you ask somebody like, hey, how can I be a member? So it's kind of like both ways.
So is the 007 like Kiki ball?
No, 007 is just someone who is basically like a free agent.
Okay.
So it's a difference between Kiki and mainstream. Kiki was made for the younger youths in New York who got kicked out, who didn't have no place to live, and wanted to learn how to do certain stuff, but was a right age to attend the mainstream ball. So that's when the mentors of the scene who had mainstream experience, or who didn't have mainstream experience but just wanted to have a safe haven for the youth, will actually do workshops, teach them different things, and that's how that transcended from New York to it.
Right. How was your journey of going through? Did you go through the Kiki, then got to mainstream? Like, how was your journey?
I went through both at the same time. So I went through both. I was thirsty for it. Like Tony, who stays in North Carolina, she the one who brought me in. That was my first Kiki house is Juicy. So I met Tony met me at Icons in Cary, North Carolina, and was like, I want you to be a part of my Kiki house. And I was like, okay. I'm getting the best of both worlds, honestly.
So take us back on this journey of you getting on Legendary. Like how did it present itself to you?
So season 1 comes out, and automatically once the season's over with, like a month later, they are submitting to houses, say, hey, we want to be a part. Okay. So once the founders say yes, we would like to have our house represented on the show. Then the house will announce like, hey, we got selected if you want to be a part of the application, as well as Legendary is sitting out of open flyer for anyone to apply. So my journey is a little bit different.
Talking journey.
Okay, I didn't see myself on there, honestly, because it was like it was a lot of Vogue. I used to dance, but I know they looking for a Vogue, and I'm just like, well, I'm not a Vogue, baby. I just, I'm comfortable in the lane I'm in.
Right, like I know my lane.
I know my lane, and so it is what it is. So when my founder, the icon, soon to be Hall of Famer, Tonka Garcon, made a live, and the group was like, hey, we've been chosen, so if you want to do it, this is what you do, with the whoop. So I was on the phone with my best friend, the legendary Summer Earthline. I was like, late one night, I was like, girl, if you just went live, you want to do it, you should do it. I was like, you know what, let's do it together. So we both filled out the application. I'm over there trying to be sassy, it's like it's about one time, give it
all or nothing.
Okay, so submit my clips, and then my founder came back and said, hey, if you submit it, send what you submitted, because they want to know who in the house. So I did that, and next we better get a phone call.
I knew was like, hold up.
And this is what I was working for. I was working in the leasing office, so I was a resident coordinator. I literally got a phone call from a California number, and I hopped up and went to the back where the computer system was at, and I answered. I was like, hello? Hey, is this Tonka? This is Noe from Legendary. I was like, yeah, this is him. And then when she went to the whole spiel, I was like, oh my God, I gotta hear you.
Yes, oh my goodness.
So like our first interview, I dressed in one of my famous, excuse me, one of my famous effects that everybody liked.
I know that's right.
It was a Machino inspired measuring tape mannequin look. And I kind of like remixed it, and I just went from there.
Dang, so what would you say is your biggest takeaway from being on Legendary? Like the bottom three, but the top three at the same time. Like, how was that being in the final three?
It was exhausting.
Really?
Honestly, a lot of people don't know, and I really don't talk about it. I had got food poisoning the episode that we went home. I had got food poisoning, and we were just exhausted. We may not have been the house that did like the most Vogue or whatever, but we was exhausted as far as trying to think of stuff, trying to outdo each other, like it was just exhausting. It was just like we'd be in a room for 8 hours trying to create something.
How was that? Was it a daily practice? Like,
oh yeah.
Hours. Yeah, I guess it's a good opportunity, but at the same time, it's like, the work that you have to put into it.
Yes.
So since then, how have your life changed? Or have you gotten into rooms that you wanted to get into, and like, how was that?
I'll put it like this. Since I did that show, my purpose in life, I found. And it was for me to be more invested in community than being in corporate America or being in the education system where I couldn't fully be myself. I still felt like I was hiding myself. So once I did this show, I did my leasing job for like 3 more months, and I ended up getting notification through my daughter that Mason Inc. was hiring. And I've been trying to get in the community, work in the community for the longest. I was like, that's my niche. And so she told me, I applied, and then once I got the job, I was like, you know what? I'm about to take this and go, because there's an opportunity to do the programming, to do the events, to advocate, to be the voice, to like really seek for us to be something that somebody was not to me at that time, because I didn't have nobody like me doing it. And to be in rooms with other people who I'm listening to stories, and I can feel the emotion and the warmth, and it was just that was just it for me.
And I that's crazy that you said that, because I was looking like, hold up, it's in my notes. But that was my next question. Like, what now that you're in this place that you're in? What is now Tonka's mission? Like, what is Tonka starting out to do, or to make sure that he's doing now?
So what I'm doing now, I want to slap the the word body positivity, body neutrality, confidence in the mouths of everyone who think they can put a value or teach POCs the European way. No, our culture, our black magic is what makes us, is what you try to take from us and you make it white. So my mission is like when I do my body positivity workshop is to empower POC to not let the white narrative of what they think body positivity is. No, it's us because they want to be us. They want lips, they want hips, they want teeth, they want anything just like us. So for us to be brave in who we are, they shut it down but make it okay for the white culture. So anything that deals with backlash, I'm going to be the one really trying to like make it okay. Like, come on, y'all, as a unit, we're gonna do this. My purpose in life is to make people feel good for being themselves.
Right. So would you say you being a brand ambassador for the underwear line, and are those your tactics or ways that you're letting people know, like, you know, teaching body positivity?
Yes, I mean it's okay, you know, to be yourself and to love. I love underwear. Baby, I love you. A good jock strap, a good mesh.
I got a good one on.
Okay, a good boy strap, baby. If it hugs right, I'm putting it on.
I know that's right.
So it's okay to, you know, because somebody likes it. Trust and believe me, it's a community of thick and, you know, lush men that love each other. So somebody don't like it, so it's okay.
So what advice would you give someone that's dealing with finding their self, and then what advice would you give someone who is trying to come into their own body positivity?
So the advice I would give someone who's trying to find themselves is to observe, take your time, and move how you feel you need to move. Don't move on somebody's time, move on your time, because when you are being observant, that means you are paying attention to how you react to certain things and how people react to you. And when you are molding yourself, you're molding things that you feel like will help you grow and develop, and you're putting things in the atmosphere that you want to achieve. And then when you are able to activate that power that you possess all along, then you are ready to be yourself and be received regardless if somebody can take you or somebody can take you. And then the advice for someone who
trying to find your body positivity.
Trying to find their body positivity is really the love that you have from inside, the love that child within. So the child within that got picked on for little stuff, now that love on that child within. But once you love on that child, then tell the child, I'm sorry. You know, what you thought or what you was told in that time was not, you know, beautiful or was not good or you overweight and all that. Tell the child, sorry, you will never feel that way again. Once you feed and nurture the child without you, it's going to grow and you're going to be yourself and you're going to be body positive.
You're going to bloom. You're going to bloom. So what would Tonka tell younger Tonka?
It's okay to open your mouth and just let it out, regardless of how someone feels. And if somebody do feel away, it's okay to stay in front of them.
Yes, it is okay. Have you ever got chopped?
Yes.
How did Tonka handle that?
My first chop is when I bought my first major ball, December 2012 in Greensboro, was a Tony Redline first Friday ball, and MC Deborah the Icon, Stella, aka Kool-Aid, she has two names. It was my first time I ever seen like them doing the scoring, so I was a little confused because normally I either tens or chop, so they was doing the scoring, and that's why I had like the Nightmare Before Christmas look, and I heard take a V8 big boy. I was like, huh? What is that? Take a V8. Is it a chop? I'm confused. So in the video, you see me kind of like, okay, am I still walking or what?
Right.
And when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, well, okay, well, it's still gonna push me to still be out here. And me pushing myself through that, it really helped.
That's what's up. Would you consider yourself as an icon or a legend, and what separates the two when it comes to ballroom?
Well, I'm in ballroom. I'm a strong statement. Some say I'm up and coming legend. But what separates what separates legendary and icon. Legendary is when you master a category, and you know when you think of the category, they think of you because you have the presence, the time, and you have elevated the category to where people who are coming under you can follow and create their own path because of what you did. Icon is the work that you do in the community, and continue to raise in the community talent and add to it.
Right.
And you also still participate as well in the categories, but it's what you do to get back.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like you in both categories. Shoot.
Now I'm a strong statement because I don't want the girls be caring about these whole words and stuff like that. I'm a strong statement.
Gotcha.
And when my time comes, trust and believe it's gonna be well received.
Got you. What is next with Tonka? I mean, the podcast, and what else do you have going on?
So I am still trying to be in the community, create programs. I'm actually going to be in Tuscaloosa in 2 weeks. I got asked to be a part of them introducing ballroom into a community that doesn't know. So I'm doing that. I actually will be getting an award from National Courage Day, which is a day to celebrate courage, of course. And Ari Boyd, who stays in DC, he's over that platform. So I will be receiving an award, but virtually because I won't be able to make it in person. But but I'm also going to continue in elevating my work in the community as well as I'm thinking about moving.
Really? Listen, you guys, this has been Tonka. Tonka, let everyone know how they can stay tuned and continue to connect with you.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Tonka_Garcon.
Yes.
Facebook, Tonka Garcon. You can tune in to Living Fat and Single on Society X Network on YouTube. Also, you can just follow me worldwide because I'm a worldwide woman.
Hey. So listen, I just want to give you something, just appreciation for coming on. But just like you said, like you out here working and you definitely are sowing the seeds. You definitely sowing the seeds, and we see you. So this is for you.
That's my favorite color too.
For real. Mine too. Got this something there. Well, you guys, hopefully you gained something. You learned about Ballroom, all about Tonka. Listen, again, he gave you everything. Check him out. Get those subscriptions up. Hit the notifications. Alright? You know how you do. But you guys, just have been Johneri'O Sky. Tonka doing it up. Y'all, peace. We out.